How's it hanging, people? I'm Lindsay Geektron, and this is LolKing's League Trends for the week of November 4th, 2014. This week's featured champions include Graves, Twitch, Karthus, wait for it, Urgot, Katarina, and Morgana. All the Urgot fans out there are like, woo, I believe. You're welcome, people. Let's dive into Summoner's Rift. This week, the top 5 champions with the biggest increased pick rates are Wukong, LeBlanc, Graves, Blitzcrank, and Jinx. Graves has been on people's radar lately as a lane bully. As a marksman, his primary strengths are burst and survivability. The combination of buckshot and collateral damage does significant AoE damage that's great for following up initiation. His passive, True Grit, gives him stacking resistances for staying in combat. During early laning, Graves should auto-attack minions for stacks before trading with his opponents. He can rush an Infinity Edge and a Zeal, but some players prefer the combination of a Borg and a Ghostblade. What makes this outlaw relevant now is that he's considered a strong counter to Lucian. One reason why is that Graves' quick draw escape can be used to dodge Lucian's piercing light. This sounds all flashy, but it's more about anticipation than reflexes. And you should definitely anticipate seeing more of this outlaw stirring up the bot lane in solo queue. Decreased pick rates this week featured Twitch, Jace, Sion, Zed, and Kha'Zix. Twitch is probably the last champion to receive a popularity spike from Worlds. He was a signature champion of Imps, so the chances look good that we can expect to see a skin in a couple of months. Twitch himself plays somewhat differently than most ADCs, which is why few people play the Plague Rat. He's a stealth champion, which is great, but with no escape, which is not so great. He uses his ambush to get in position, then does crazy damage for a couple of seconds with his ultimate, formerly known as Spray and Pray. This ultimate gives Twitch AoE damage and extended range, so the best players will use their stealth to find a creative place to attack from. Twitch's drawback is that he lacks an escape. This makes it hard for him to hit turrets, and it also means that once Twitch opens from stealth, he's going all in, so bad decisions will cost you. With only a 7% pick rate, it'll be more difficult to see this dirty rat on the Rift. Champs with increased win rates this week has Cass up first again for the 3rd week in a row. Garner, Karthus, Gangplank, and Lulu follow up. The Death Singer has emerged lately as a counter to the popularity of hard engage in solo queue. If Karthus dies in a place of his choosing, he'll get significant damage off during his death-defied passive. He is thus very reliant on his flash cooldown once team fights start breaking out. Players need to avoid picking him into pick comps or disengage. These types of teams can kill Karthus in a safe place and then move away. Janet in particular is a pick or ban priority if Karthus is chosen due to her strong disengage. Players should always buy a tier on their first back. The typical approach is to buy a Rod of Ages afterwards, but some players opt for a Riley's Crystal Scepter instead. This gives less sustain in lane, but offers Karthus greater control in teamfights. Lay Waste in particular is a big portion of his damage and can be a difficult ability to land, so give Riley's a try. Zanya's Hourglass is another important item on Karthus, since while he's invulnerable, his Defile ability will still damage opponents. Decreased win rates this week include Urgot, Azir, Vel'Koz, Karma, and Sejuani. Urgot is on the verge of claiming his throne once again. Elise, Alistar, pretenders. Only one champion stands between Urgot and the lowest win rate title now, Yasuo. The Headsman's Pride is typically played as an ADC in the bottom lane, but can be played as a solo champion or even in the jungle. He doesn't have the auto-attack damage of a typical marksman, and instead relies on his Acid Hunter ability for most of his damage. Landing Noxian Corrosive Charge temporarily allows Acid Hunter to be a targeted ability instead of a skill shot, while also increasing the damage and range. Urgot's role in a teamfight is a bit different from most ADCs. He struggles to hit turrets and doesn't have the same consistent damage. Instead, he brings control and some durability. His ultimate, Hyperkinetic Position Reverser, and that's a mouthful, suppresses enemies and swaps their position with Urgot's. He's at his best locking down melee carries such as Riven or Master Yi. And as for items, players should focus on a Muramana, Brutalizer, and Frozen Heart. See, now you guys can't say we don't listen to you. Champions with the biggest increases in ban rates this week are Gnar, Rammus, Ryze, Janna, and Katarina. The Sinister Blade is annoying people left and right lately. She's not particularly strong in lane, but instead roams for kills. If she does get fed, she can sometimes face roll teams. However, there are several champions that can give Katarina difficulty. Some of these include Janna, Zilean, Kayle, and Lulu. If she doesn't get a reset when she first goes in, she'll have difficulty doing much else during a teamfight. Cat players should consider banning these champions. The typical start for Cat is boots and potions since she doesn't benefit from a Doran's ring. More defensive options are Ruby Crystal and Doran's shield. The most important item for Cat to rush is a Deathfire Grasp, since she's all about bursting one target down for resets. Afterwards, prioritize spell penetration from a Haunting Guise, Void Staff, or Abyssal Scepter, but remember the value of a Zhonya's Hourglass and a Guardian Angel as well. You know, to help with the face rolling. GG. Finally this week, the champions who have the largest decrease in ban rates are pretty much the same as last week. Trist, Yasuo, and Kha'Zix stay in the top 3 spots, with Maokai and Morgana finishing off the list. Morgana is still a frequently banned champion, just less so these days. She's usually seen as a support because of her crowd control and spell immunity from Black Shield, but will pop up in the mid lane every now and again. As a support, Morgana makes most hard engage a no engage. However, doing this requires skill. To improve your speed with Black Shield, keep your cursor near your ADC and smartcast for days. Morgana players usually start with a Spell Thief's Edge and prioritize a Mikael's Crucible. Zhonya's Hourglass is an option if fed, and a core item on mid lane Morgana. To counter her, your best option is to play a sustain support such as Sona, Soraka, or Nami, because Morgana can't heal her lane partner. Stand behind minions when trading so that she can't land her Dark Binding, and as long as you avoid her engage, these sustain supports should win the lane. And that does it for this week's episode. Please be sure you check back every week for the latest League of Legends picks, bans, and win rates. Please be sure you like and comment below to help us reach more people. Mostly just tell your friends about us. And make sure you subscribe to LolKing's YouTube channel before you go. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitch TV at Lindsay Geektron. I'm gonna go haul my cookies down to BlizzCon, so make sure you follow me on the Twitters as well for all of our BlizzCon updates. Lindsay Geektron. Alright, totally original. I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys next week.